from below. We were up long before the day, oh, to welcome in the summer, to welcome in the May, oh. For summer is a-coming in and winter's gone away.
The old gods are slow in dying, and in our world of motorways and moonshots, people are still haunted by a former life, an earlier civilization that shows in ancient tracks, mysterious mounds, and stone circles. The graves of our remote ancestors rise out of the landscape, long barrows with stone rooms for the dead. The people who built them were dominated by priests who ruled through the magic cult of great stones. The priests have gone or have made way for the harmless functionaries of Christianity, but a residue of the magic remains. And so, alongside the official calendar, a more private and mysterious calendar survives to mark the rites of the seasons as they pass. Let's begin with May Day, the start of summer, the season of growth. Dawn in Oxford. The establishment welcomes May Day from Magdalen Tower with a carol in formal Latin. If the top of a tower seems an odd place to sing from, well, sun worship was always from a lofty situation. Morning, the mouth of the Camel River, Cornwall. From a distance, the fishing village of Padstow looks calm enough. But in its narrow streets, one of the great ceremonies of Europe is taking place. May Day happens all over Europe, and it's the time for ceremonies to encourage the crops to grow, the bulls to leap, and women to have babies, in the old days at least. The Earth Mother hasn't entirely lost her hold, nor have the fertility rites that accompanied her worship. In Padstow, the rites are led by a capering phallic monster called the Old Oss. Down the street comes the old monster himself, with his hordes of attendants and the crowd bawling his anthem of "Unite and let us all unite, for summer is a-comin' today." From peasantry to proletariat, from flowers to slogans, the May Festival has a new shape as well as the old. 84 years ago, it was William Morris who presented the resolution that fixed May Day as a Labour festival. And so, the day of exuberant summer freedom takes on a militant political ring.
I saw the British shipyard men standing idly by the shore, and the owners, they were saying, "There's no work for you no more. But the banks are made of marble, with an arm and a great door, and the vaults are stuffed with silver that the wonders will fall." I saw the weary farmer, he was plowing sods and loam, and I heard the the auction hammers, it was knocking down his home. And the banks are made of marble.
The May ceremonies are public and joyful, yet they have a special solemnity, even a privacy. Strangers, outsiders, are cagily watched and warned.
Right, now I'm going to lay down a few little brass tacks now. Festival. I'm sick of reading imitation reports in the paper that our day, I'll be blunt, has been buggered up by these who come with their gimmicks. And we won't have it. We're now putting the skid chains on these people. Publicity, the lot, we don't bloody well want it. This is our day, Padstow's day.
This is May Day. May Day is Workers' Day. Listen to the voice of the people. Listen to the workers. Hello. And what do we want? Workers, Tories! Out! Tories! Out! Tories! Out! 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 Tories! Out!
Socialism! In! Socialism! In!
Out, the devil! Let Jesus in!
My daddy was a miner, and I'm a miner's son, and I'll stick by the Union till every battle's won. Tell me which side are you on? Which side are you on? Tell me which side are you on? Boys, which side are you on? Don't be a scab for the bosses, don't listen to their lies. Us poor folks haven't got a chance unless we organise. Tell me which side are you on? Which side are you on?
It seems the destiny of the gods to die and be resurrected, and the Padstow Oss is no different. Down he goes to a baffling song about King George and Aunt Ursula Birdwood. Some say it concerns St. George and the friend of all the beasts, St. Ursula, and through her, the Earth Mother herself. In Padstow, nobody knows or cares. The magic is all. So the drooping Oss is caressed back to life. The crowd cries, Oss, Oss, and up he jumps, ready to chase the girls again.
Right, you clear now. Give it out. Come on. Right up.
Here's the rosebud in June, and the violet in bloom, and the birds singing gaily on every green bough. The pink and the lily and the bright daffodil to adorn and perfume the meadows in June. We're at the season of early summer, the green season. All over the continent, it's a great time for young men's dances with plenty of stamp and go. The theory was that the dances were a kind of dynamo. The charge of energy from the young men made its way into the earth and quickened the growth of plants. It's Whit Monday at Bampton in Oxfordshire. The Morris men are dancing. In Shakespeare's day, there were two Morris traditions. One plebeian, danced by farm workers on village greens. The other courtly, danced in palace or mansion. Nowadays, in the lordly Cotswolds, the two traditions come together and the people dance on the big house lawn, and the fiddle gets scratchier year by year. Why call them Morris dancers? It means Moorish, so they say. Most likely because the dancers blackened their faces to make them seem not quite of this world. The leader of one of Bampton's two Morris teams is Francis Shergold.
I came here in 1932, actually, as a young boy, 12. Started dancing when I was 15 by watching the men practicing in the square. They used to practice in the square those days. You know, and just standing around watching and ask if we get in the team, and this day we got in it. By being a resident, you know, I'm not a Bamptonian, I'm a resident of Bampton, 40-odd years here now, sort of thing. And this is how I came in the team.
The young continue the dancing in Bampton, and the old stand by and remember how they began half a century ago.
1922. I got married on the Saturday and I danced all day on the Monday. There you go.
Some teams hand round a cake stuck on a sword, perhaps a survival of some old sacrifice.
It's hard to keep traditional things going, really, with everything, because Morris dancing, I mean, it's got very great now. I mean, there's hundreds of teams about, but to keep it to Bampton, it's a kind of a unique thing. We're no different to anybody else, really, I suppose, but it's something that's done here on a certain day. This is the whole thing of it. And everybody looks forward to Whitsun. I like dancing, though, that's the trouble. I don't feel my age, really. It's been going on 600 years ever since I remember, if you know what I mean. And you just keep up these customs, and this is it.
Something has been rolled down here every Whit Monday.
Further west in Gloucestershire, on Cooper's Hill, and the crowds gather. Rough games and wild contests were supposed to stir up and increase the forces of the entire universe. Here it's to be a race after a cheese.
Now the first cheese will be rolled by Mr. Mitchell, chairman of the Brockworth Parish Council.
1 to be ready, 2 to be steady, 3 to be prepared for go!
Down the precipice go the runners, heedless of bone break, with their prize getting up to 80 miles an hour as it reaches the bottom of the hill. Summer wears on, and the prescribed seasonal celebrations take place, come rain, come shine. This is Buckton, Yorkshire. The day, a damp Saturday in June. The day of the annual gala.
I ask Mr. Parry now if he would declare the gala open.
I have heard that the Buckden Village Institute needs repair. Ladies and gentlemen and friends, I ask you to have a good afternoon, a good spend. It's a good idea to keep it going. I'd like to now declare this gala well and truly open. Thank you all.
At a village gala, festivity and husbandry come together, one symbolised by the band and the games, the other by farming talk and shearing contests.
Take your partners for the buttered pea.
Look at them muscles, get it up there. Oh! Must have been the right height there. Oh! I think you're right, carry on.
Of Wharfdale in Yorkshire, where folks are so grand, you'll meet little Jackie, the best in the land. But you must stay the night, 'cause you're bound to get canned with Lyle Jackie Beresford, the lad from the Dale. His grand company is ale fellow well met. No doubt he can drink all the ale he can get, and is full of dry humour when his inside gets wet. That's Lyle Jackie Beresford, the lad from the Dale.
The gala draws to its moist close. Outside the Buck Inn, a ceremonial hymn, a reminder of the Saturnalia of Cup Final Day. Pork pies in the rain take the place of the Eucharistic host. And ritual gestures signal that this little festival in honor of the all-powerful sun is over. Now it's time to get home and dry. In its fight against paganism, the church took over many ideas that centered on the worship of plants. The priest would move in procession, preceded by a troop of Vestal virgins, all decked with flowers and grasses. At Painswick in Gloucestershire, they call their ceremony clipping. The holy place is now a church. The band and choir strike up with their clipping hymn. The ritual innocents join hands and make a circle around the shrine. Some say it's a survival of the old Lupercalia, the festival of youth, and of the god Pan who protected the flocks from wolves. These rites included a sacred floral dance around the altar. Pan in Painswick, but now harmless and with his teeth drawn long ago.
We're going to play the old tune to start with, shall I?
Ah, okay, we do.
Abbots Bromley, Staffordshire, early September. To the church, the gods of earlier religions were regarded not as illusions, but as devils, defeated but waiting their turn. Men were forbidden to dress in animal skins and go dancing through the streets, but all to no avail. Animal dances are ancient. There's a cave drawing in France of a man in stag skin with antlers on his head. And here in Abbots Bromley, there's a fool, too, and a man-woman called an all sorts to emphasize the ritual nature of the dance. And so all day the dancers tour the village and the surrounding fields with their reindeer antlers on their shoulders.
Rather a rude song. So we changed the name, haven't you? I think this vehicle would like to get past. Any room?
Nowadays, the vicar looks after the horns, which hang in the vestry throughout the year. And at the back end of the 19th century, a parson's wife sacrificed her curtains to make the costumes. The dancers march on, they dance, they rest, they take tea.
That one?
Just put it was slow.
Then on again, beginning to feel the weight of the horns a bit now. Is it a hunting dance? A fertility dance? Certainly you'd never guess by the music. But farmers think it's bad luck if the dancers miss their farm out in the course of their trot around.
The music comes over very well, very well indeed. We could hear excellently.
Yes, well, it's difficult when you're right under it. You never know exactly how it's coming over.
Over by the gateway there, we could hear it excellently.
You tend to pump more than you need to do, really, you know. You think, oh, nobody can hear you.
Yeah.
Are you going to play the old horn dance?
Well,
tune?
my dear, I played that on arrival here. Walking through, I played the old tune.
No, we said, oh, they're playing Yankee Doodle.
Oh,
It shows how musical.
That was, well, you see, the old tune and Yankee Doodle.
Are they very similar?
They're not similar at all, but these are the two tunes that Cecil Sharp heard played when he came to note the dance in 1910. And this was the old tune because nobody knows the name of the old tune.
No.
The gentry find it quaint. So do some of the dancers. But the old ghost of that prehistoric sorcerer painted on the cave in France, if sorcerer he was, still prances behind all the flummery after something like 20,000 years. Harvest time.
We gets up in the morn and we sound the harvest horn. Our master is Lord us for tonight.
The machines have replaced the old hand sickle, and the harvest hands no longer dress the last sheaf in women's clothes and carry her in triumph to the farmhouse. Once what was seen as a sacred force manifest in the harvest was celebrated by a grand assembly of folk dramas, some simple, some complicated. Nowadays, the dramas are mostly left to the church. In Putley, Herefordshire, they put on quite a show for the harvest festival.
Vast acres of land all over the world, as well as here in Putley, are covered with masses of golden grain. Presently, along comes a farmer with binder and tractor or combine harvester. The corn is reaped and carried to the mill and is soon ground down into precious flour. It is then sent to the baker, and at last it comes to our homes as a loaf of bread.
Some of the fruit grows here in our own country. Fruit like apples, pears, plums and peaches. Some of it comes over the sea from warmer countries and is carried in big ships. Fruit such as bananas, oranges, lemons and grapes.
We remember the cucumbers, tomatoes and lettuce, which go into our salads, and the potatoes, cauliflowers and beans, which we have for our dinner.
We must not forget the flowers, which give us such pleasure and joy.
The sacred ceremony of plant worship wears on, and the parson, like his brothers in shaggier parts of the world, puts on a masked voice, perhaps to show that he has entered the orbit of magic and is set apart from the rest of the community by his position as mediator between man and God.
Let us bless the Lord.
Thanks be to God for this his precious gift.
Harvest over, the mists and smoke arise, the fields are burnt off. We're in the season that runs towards midwinter. Midwinter is the time of the longest night. It's the critical season when it looks as if the sun might die and it's going to take a lot to bring it back to life. The old year of winter and scarcity is at hand. What must be ensured is a new year of spring and plenty.
Christmas is now drawing near at hand. Come serve the Lord and be at his command. and God a portion for you will provide, and give a blessing to your soul besides.
Christmas, season of Bethlehem cribs and big spending, of fir trees and fairy lights, is the central calendar custom of the whole year. Up and down the country, notably in stockbroker belts and such like comfortable quarters, the midwinter carolers ply their brief seasonal trade. Once they sang charm songs to ensure good fortune for the people in their houses. Nowadays it's mostly hymns celebrating the birth of Christ that get sung.
The holly and the ivy, when they are both full grown, of all the trees that are in the wood, the holly bears the crown. The rising of the sun and the running of the deer.
But in some carols there's an ambiguity. Bits of vegetation worship linger on alongside the Christian imagery.
The holly bears a berry, as red as any blood, and Mary bore sweet Jesus Christ to do poor sinners good. The rising of the sun and the running of the deer, the playing of the merry organ.
And the old custom still persists, in which the receiver of the luck charm makes a sacrifice, even if it's only a few coppers, in order that the magic may stick. The figure of Father Christmas is everywhere, and he turns up in the streets of Marshfield, Gloucestershire, along with strange figures in paper fringes that make them look like witch doctors in Africa. They come to dance and to perform their play of death and resurrection. Straight sympathetic magic, in which the old is killed off to ensure that renewal and abundance may flourish.
Then comes I, old Father Christmas, Christmas or Christmas not. I hope old Father Christmas will never be forgot. Christmas comes but once a year, then we generally get good cheer, roast beef, plum pudding, and mince pie. Who likes that better than King William and I?
In walks I, King William, a man of courage and bold. With my sword and spear all in my hands, I gained 3 crowns of gold. I fought the fiery dragon and brought him to the slaughter. And by the means of that, I won the hand of the Queen of Europe's daughter. Me and 4 more slew 7 score and gained the victory of a British man of war. But thy mind's high, my mind's bold. Thy blood's hot, I'll quickly make it cold.
People give you to me story who have come for to see you by chance, and about you 5 lads and that daddy, intending to give you a dance. Monks Eaton is war habitation, the place we were all born and bred. There are nae finer lads in the nation, and none are more gallantly led.
Among the liveliest luck visitors carrying good fortune from house to house are the ritual sword dancers of northeast England.
That's not all, you know. So, now that you've seen my 5 actors, my 5 noble heroes by both, they each bear as good a character as any 5 heroes on earth. And if they're as good as our mother, their deeds are deserved and record. So now all the company desires is to see who you handle your sword.
Their choreography is nothing warlike. Their swords, called rappers, perhaps aren't swords at all. They dance in a tight chain and circle, and the big moment comes when their rappers are woven together in a star and held aloft by the captain. They call it the rose, the nut, the lock. At one time, these dances were part of the old death and resurrection drama, but now, as a rule, the play is lost. Yet some of its characters remain to frisk about on the fringe of the dance. But make no mistake, they're not just extras, but masters of all, especially the Betsy, the ribald man-woman who concentrates all the generative force of both sexes in one powerful body.
Hey! Hey, wait, that eagle's down in there! Hey, man, I'm talking to you. How are you before you get lost? Johnny! Look, man, look. How are you? How are you before you bless yourself? Bless up! Hey, now what's me hat? What you want? Me hat! What's toilet? Where do I go now? I
Similar energy, similar wild jokes, alongside the deadpan dancing, must have attended the rituals of Greece in the old days. Watching the Betsy at work, we are reminded that the geographer Strabo, visiting Britain with Julius Caesar, remarked, "The people of these islands worship Dionysus as we do in Samothrace."
What do I do now? Guess. Hey, no! 1, 2, 3, 4.
New Year's Eve, Allendale, Northumberland. Midwinter is part death, part birth, part sobering, part Saturnalian. The year turns, the new must be welcomed, the old burnt away. And to strengthen the declining sun, and to celebrate the promise of new life, what better than a fire festival? The men wear drag or daft and splendid disguise. On their heads, they carry blazing tubs of tarry rubbish. The atmosphere is wild and abandoned. Towards midnight, when the burdens get too hot to hold, onto the big bonfire they go. And the band plays on against all odds.
Happy New Year! Happy New Year!
And the winter ceremonial ends, as all good rituals should, with Auld Lang Syne and kisses.
The lark in the morning arises from the nest, and the sun's in the air with the dew upon her breast.
Easter. The very name is pagan. Eostre was a Saxon goddess, a goddess of the dawn and springtime, and her feast took the form of a spring celebration with its promise of fresh growth emerging from a barren-seeming nature. Very popular. Perhaps the Christian Church deliberately annexed the season on that account. But it's no surprise that pagan customs still cling to this great time.
The lark in the morning arises from the nest, and the sun's in the air with the dew upon her breast.
In the northwest, it's pace-egging time. Pace means Paschal, belonging to Easter, and the eggs are a symbol of the cycle of life.
Good luck to the ploughboys wherever they may be. They will take a pretty cow to sit upon their knee.
Some pace-eggers merely beg for eggs, but in the Calder Valley, they perform their elaborate pace play.
Great gallants, give us room to sport, for in this room we wish for to resort. Resort and repeat to our merry rhyme, for pray you remember, 'tis pace-egging time. At the sound of the trumpet, at the beat of the drum.
I am a valiant soldier, bold slasher is my name.
No doubt, like other mumming plays, it was originally a Christmastide affair, but for reasons never clear, it has strayed from its winter date.
Foil my trusty broadsword, I soon will thee disable.
Stand back, slasher, and let no more be said. If I draw my glittering sword or spear, I'm almost sure to break thine head.
The pace play follows the main pattern of such mummeries in England, where the Battle of Champions has become the chief spectacle.
I challenge thee to the field!
Here am I. Are you the doctor?
Yes, that you may plainly see by my art and activity. I have in my pocket crutches for lame ducks, spectacles for blind hummerbees.
At one time, the fighting champions weren't so important. Another element was uppermost. The doctor wasn't just a fool, he was a great wonder worker, able to resurrect the dead by magic power.
Take a little out of my bottle, let it run down thy throttle, and if thou be not quite slain, arise, Jack, and fight again.
Oh, be back!
Oh, the next that steps in.
Originally, the figure behind the nondescript tosspot was a riotous demigod, the partner of Dirty Bet the man-woman. Bride and bridegroom were the central figures then, and prim folk described the action as very gross. How the old gods are tamed.
Sometime to come in for me share. Although I am ragged and not so well dressed, I can kiss the bonny lassie as well as the next.
They advertised in the paper, funnily enough. They wanted another dancer, so I went and saw it in the paper.
It isn't only in the countryside that the spring dancers come out. We're in industrial Bacup, Lancashire, Easter Eve. This is the day of the Nutters, the Britannia coconut dancers, to give them their proper name. Like classic geysers, they blacken their faces to set themselves apart from ordinary men. They've wooden clappers, called nuts, strapped to their knees, waists and hands, and they clack them together in sundry ways. They have their links with the Cocos of Provence, who use real nuts, and with that vast horde of ritual dancers all over the continent who wear similar little skirts and carry garlands and have a fool to keep the evil spirits away. Good Morris men, the nutters dance to celebrate the spring. But Easter weather's not always kind. Do they always have to dance in cold, wet streets?
We've had some hot days, you know. Worse last year. Not so bad today. Dries off.
I think we've had one good day.
How long?
Like 15 years.
There's more to nutting than meets the eye. They have 8 different dances, 5 with garlands, 3 with the nuts. They rehearse on every Monday night throughout the year and reckon it takes a dancer 3 years to become proficient.
Even then, you've got to be prompted and observe. There's so many different movements. There's only us know the dance, so there's only us know any mistakes made.
Could be enough you, I'll tell you.
Their course has run 7 miles, and they've gone at a fair old leak. They've danced, taken their applause, now into the Wellington to freshen for the next bout. The magic has leaked out at the seasonal ceremonies now. Who needs supernatural aid to make the crops grow when you can telephone for a ton of fertilizer? Nowadays, where they survive, most of the great seasonal ceremonies of primitive Europe are merely a chance for a good time, a booze-up, a bit of fun. Yet the best of them still have about them something grand and mysterious.
They might have built a ship on Gilbert.
The old gods are slow to die. Some say too slow. Monks Eton, Baker, Bampton, Padstow would hardly agree.